Welcome back to Small Caps, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have asked Pat Williams. He's the Managing Director of Revolver Resources. The ASX code is RRR. Now, Revolver Resources only listed in September 21, so goodness me, about 18 months old, but they have been nothing short of busy in their projects up in Queensland. This is copper, Queensland, and a very exciting time for Revolver. We last spoke to Pat just coming into Christmas last year. I've asked them to come back because these guys are really cracking on with what they're doing, and there's some news coming out. Pat, great to see you. Thanks for joining me on Small Caps today.
Yeah, hi, Kerry. It's always good to be talking to you.
I did say last time when we spoke, it was December. I said, I'll talk to you in February. We just snuck it in time. It's March tomorrow, so I'm glad to see you. Tell us what's the latest news. The last time we spoke, in fact, what I'll do, if you wouldn't mind, last time we spoke a lot about Dianne. If we can kick off this conversation with Osprey, because you've got two projects, Dianne and Osprey. We didn't really cover Osprey last time, so give us an overview. What's happening at Osprey?
Yeah, look, Kerry, thanks for prioritising Osprey first, because for us, Osprey is a sleeping giant. It is genuinely a global tier one scale opportunity, and we've been maturing our knowledge, reharvesting from information that we'd previously gained as a private company before listing. We've reworked all through last year. Late last year, we completed a very large heli-EM survey. Now, the results, the processing and the interp of that have come through of late, and we'll update the market momentarily on that. But unfortunately, the convergence of all of that information intersected with some unseasonably early rain. So we were cut off from getting out and drilling at Osprey in the timeline that we wanted to. But the simple fact is we've got some quite remarkable basement conductors in and around the areas that we've previously been drilling. We've told the market previously that we're in the halo of some very large scale, exciting mineralisation. We've added more confirmation. We've got ourselves some exciting drill targets ready to go, but we've got to get on the ground when the flat black soil plains of the Gulf dry out, which probably won't be till the late April, early May timeframe. So we're chomping at the bit to get going on that, because it's going to be a great story, and we're looking forward to. We're drill ready, and we're looking forward to getting going.
You said something which pricked my ears up a little bit. You said this is a sleeping giant. What brings you to that comment that Osprey is a sleeping giant? What's there that you're seeing?
Yeah, Kerry, it's a good question. We're in the postcode for these types of deposits. The Mount Isa precinct, and the easy stuff's gone and exploited. As we go further towards the Gulf, our mineralised, basement rocks dip down undercover. We've pioneered that exploration undercover technique, and by virtue of the fact that the large notable tier one companies that have pegged around us in the last 6 months is testimony enough that we're certainly in an area that has quite some significant interest. So, there's more mineralisation to be exploited. It's not easy. We've been well on the path of, refining and substantiating those techniques, and we're ready to go. And that's the exciting thing about it. We've got years of preparation, considered technical, systematic work that have brought us to a target. Or a number of targets, and we can't wait to get on with it.
You said that you've done a lot of work in and around that, because you were a private company for about 7 years. So when I say that you only listed in September 21, you've done a lot of work in this area, and especially with Osprey before you listed. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely, Kerry. We've done 3 diamond drill campaigns. We've done surface and ground geophysics, we're pretty close to sort of, $7 million of expenditure as a private company over those 7 years. We've put in to understand what works, what doesn't work, and what the potential is for, this part of the world. So, it's a culmination of a much longer journey than our time as a 18-month-old publicly listed company.
Challenges with Osprey. You used the word challenges a moment ago. Are the challenges with the type of ground? Is it the challenges with the type of rock, or is it in the middle of nowhere? What are the challenges that you've come up so far?
Look, the industry calls it, Kerry, exploration undercover. Okay. So the basement rocks kind of dip down, and they're covered variously by 20 meters up to 200 meters of unconsolidated material, black soil. So they're generally on surface, flat grassy plains for growing cows. It's a very heavily stocked pastoral region, but that makes it difficult. So a lot of the ground geology, the mapping, the surface mapping, the modelling, the ground geochemistry, it kind of isn't applicable. So you're really straight into regional geology that helps you understand the fault directions and structures, and geophysics. So you're progressing forward without a lot of the conventional toolkit that explorers use at that early stage reconnaissance and opportunity identification. So it's tricky. As a result of that, you're drilling, 400 to 600 meter drill holes, not 100 to 300 meter drill holes. You're in deeper diamond drilling territory, so you've got the hole orientation, navigation challenges. You've got the expense of that. So it's the industry knew that it would have to embrace and understand the exploration undercover challenges, and we took that on. And let's not forget, even prior to Revolver back in 2015, the lineage of this project, this was one of the most highly regarded exploration tenements in the entire WMC portfolio. They'd had this block of land for quite a number of years. They rated it as a significant high priority opportunity. Unfortunately, it was rationalised in the BHP takeover of WMC, and they stepped away from greenfield exploration. And we're the first company that have actually picked it up and worked on it since then. So we have not only our body of knowledge, but we've got that exciting body of knowledge from WMC, who significantly rated this region. There's a number of regional faults, the assumed continuation of the Eastern Creek Volcanics North. We've proven all of that. The drill holes we've got continuous copper mineralization in four of the 5,000 meters of diamond drilling. We've got evidence of this. So as they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. We're certainly in the halo zone, and the challenge for us was to use those vectors of identification that give us our anomalous results so far, and go, okay, which way is this? We're close but not on. And we believe the value of the Heli EM work that's only just kind of come to a conclusion in terms of interpretation and assessment. We believe that's the missing piece that allows the convergence of a long history of work, WMC through to Revolver private, Revolver public. It's an exciting culmination, and it does justice to the types of targets we're looking for. These are global scale tier 1, copper mineralization opportunities. So we're we're not flippant about it. It's a careful, considered process, and we are ready to go. So it's exciting.
Excuse me, the work that WMC have done in the past, did you use some of that data and some of those that information to help you with the Osprey project?
Absolutely, and we used some of the people too, Kerry. So
okay,
the industry, and what I find, and we'll talk about this shortly. Please remind me to regale you of the phone calls I've had since our VMS press release last week at Dianne. But the really healthy thing about the industry we're in, there's lots of explorers. We're all looking for discoveries and bringing great results forward. However, we all belong in a broad church of people who do need to work with each other, and the industry is full of people who are very generous with their knowledge. There's a lot of money that gets spent over a lot of years to gather information, and the people that worked as a part of the history at WMC and early stages of BHP, they don't want to see that work lost. Why reinvent? Why redo? So we're very happy to harvest the data, the information, and people's knowledge and input. Very senior, experienced people have contributed to the Osprey journey. And what WMC were doing was broadly the regional geology, understanding the rock packages, the faults, the structure. They did do some random wildcat drill holes across the acreage to confirm the underlying geology. Those holes intersected, anomalous copper mineralisation. They weren't bona fide ore body drill targets. So we've started with that benefit, continued on, and now right here where we are, we will be targeting ore body style mineralisation at tier one, potential opportunities. So it's been quite the journey, but again, I think it's an instructional timeline of very knowledgeable and considered fingerprints that have been across this.
With Osprey, you said it's still a bit wet up there. You're probably not going to get on the ground until April, May. Do you think that's when the understanding, and I guess people turning around and saying, wow, that one was left behind by mistake? Like, you talked about WMC being taken over by BHP, that they'd done some work, that this was a tier one project, but because of that takeover, it kind of got left behind, if you like, and no, there's been no work done since then.
Correct. Yeah, we're the first people since in 2015 we picked it up, and we're the only ones to advance the technical understanding in that time. So look, it's not the first story where that's occurred, and we're looking forward to getting in. The results that we have so far are certainly far from trivial. We're close but not on. The one update that we provided through the course of last year, has explained, the Halo Zone IOCG style mineralisation that we are drilling in. Our alteration signatures are very similar to nearby operating mines. So the waste rock that sits on operating mines is similar characteristics and similar alteration signatures to what we have in our drill core at Osprey. So it's probably our job of not highlighting that, but again, Kerry, we're quite achievers. We get on, deliver the result. And as I said, the interest that we have from others in the industry gives us the comfort that, look, we're certainly in acreage that is very high potential.
Do you think you've got the jewel in the crown? Because you said just at the beginning, and we'll go on to Dianne in a second, but you said at the beginning that there's others that are coming in almost surrounding you. But do you think that you've got the best ground up there in this area?
Always have, Kerry, and that goes back to the Osprey was the asset that originated Revolver. In December 2015, the deal was first done on Osprey. So copper wasn't popular at the time.
No.
It was a downtime right across the board in all commodities, all natural resources, coal, minerals, oil and gas.
Yeah.
And people were critical of us at the time. What are you doing? That's crazy. Always believed in copper. Not that we saw the upturn of the demand, but we saw a decline of supply. That's always been our considered industry belief. We got into it. We took the counterintuitive steps, and we went into Osprey because of its pedigree, because of its potential. Always had that belief. We've got over 850 square kilometres, and let's not also forget, Kerry, that we're focusing in on a 15th of the size of the acreage. So if we get the code right, the rest of the acreage potential is significant. And part of the reason why we've got the most attractive ground in that whole region, I talked about the depth of the unconsolidated stuff on top.
Yep.
We range between 20 to 200 metres of unconsolidated cover. To the north, to the east and the west of us, that drops off very quickly. So our neighbours are 300, 400, 500 metres of unconsolidated ground before they get into potentially mineralised basement rocks. So that's another level of challenge beyond what we deal with. So for a variety of reasons, historic results, us and the explorers before us, the basic geology of the region, we are sitting in the sweet spot, and it's our job to go find the bullseye, which we look forward to doing.
Yeah, look, I can sense your excitement with that. So let's talk when you've got the drill underway and what you're finding. But look, we don't have a lot of time left, so I want to make sure we cover a little bit on Dianne. You've done some step-out drilling at Dianne. Dianne is also in Queensland. What's getting you excited about the Dianne project at the moment?
Kerry, Dianne continues to unfold in a delightfully surprising way, and the epitome of that really is the fact that we're sitting now here after the results that we put out late last year. We're sitting here with a bona fide near-term, highly profitable cash-producing opportunity. So, the geology, the mineral resource, the metallurgy, the recovery, the processability, those are the individual, results that we published. We've taken the step from late last year to now to undertake, the first of the pre-production studies. We didn't think, or didn't have that as a focus, but the compelling nature of each of those individual pieces, it just makes sense. People from the industry, people like myself, you go, that's a very attractive opportunity. So within the matter of weeks, we'll be publishing the results of our first pre-production study, and it will be significant. So not in terms of, it'll be a short life, 4 or 5 years max, okay? But it's high grade at surface, granted mining leases. It will be a very low capital cost.
Why? Why will it be low capital cost?
Because the nature of the ore, both the oxide and the sulfide, they're amenable to leaching. There are analogues around this country right now that do a very similar thing. It's a copy-paste, do the same. So we're not pioneering new and risky things. And the low capital cost will be because it's going to be a fit for purpose to build and treat that sized ore body. So it will be, attractively low, and we'll be making, LME copper cathode on site. So from the oxide and the sulfide. So, Kerry, wait and see. It will be worth reading, because, again, the people that are driving the decision making in Revolver, myself and my colleagues, we're from the industry, and if you can't make money small, you've got no right to make money big. So, it's a tidy, compact, very low risk operation. There'll be healthy cash flow. And why that's important, we never came into the IPO. It's not the main game, okay? The main game for Revolver is to develop and deliver the upside potential of two really exciting projects. Along the way, and there's different economic circumstances and things happen in the world. Along the way, if you can pull some cash out that's really going to strengthen your bank account, give you a fallback protection, how great is that? And that's, Paul and I are significant shareholders. We don't want to be going out to get money. It's not a lifestyle job for us. We're in this, as the other shareholders are, to build a significant outcome. And this is study work that, we'll complete. We may not progress immediately on, but it's there to be actioned. And that's what shareholders should get comfort from, is these guys are building resilience, redundancy. They're building good, meaningful ways that they can protect themselves in whatever happens. They're on the quest to get a significant outcome to global copper production. And along the way, they're capable of actually feeding themselves. And when you see the numbers, you'll kind of go, oh, that's quite a feast you're feeding yourselves on, So it's not
So, sorry to interrupt you, Pat, but there's lots of other companies out there that don't, that are not able to feed themselves as fast as you are saying that you're going to feed yourself. I love that analogy. How can you get into production so quickly?
So we have an ore body with a definition that's got the benefit of history. Okay, so right now we're sitting on an inferred indicated mineral resource estimate that's got over 9,000 metres of drilling. So it's a compact resource, a couple of 100-kilometre strike, so it's finite in size. So 9,000 metres gives you good ore body definition. The grade, that comes from that is certainly material. So we've got a 6% copper, sulfide ore body, and approximately a 1% oxide ore body. It's at surface. We've shown some indicative pit shells and mine planning detail in the most recent company PowerPoint. So it's a continuous ore body where you'll access the sulfide and the oxide from surface in an open pit. It's on granted mining leases. The met test work, the recovery and the grade and the simplicity of the processing that will again reveal through the production study, they all converge to give you all the boxes ticked. There are really no challenges to this other than, push the button and go. So, it all comes together. And this is what I said, Kerry, I'm happy to follow fast. We never went into the IPO with this as an outcome, but you look at the circumstances and you go, that just makes really good sense. It's a sensible, risk-managed commercial position. At least define it, get it done, have it on the desk ready to go, and play it in, play it out. And again, it will attract interest from people in the industry. There are people that will see that as attractive, and we're going, if we've got assets that others want, then you've got commercial transactions. You've got all sorts of pathways that open up. So in terms of a shareholder story, we've progressed beyond, a well-meaning novice explorer. we have an ore body. We're on mining leases. We can make money from that.
How are you going to fund it?
Sorry?
How are you going to fund it?
Again, in a near-term time frame, less than 2 years, there's royalty options. There's pre-cash flow funding. There's opportunities for investment that take equity for a stake in the asset level or those mining leases. So the pathways of funding actually become a lot more attractive, and there are a number of them, Kerry, that are not dilutive. It requires us to understand and know what we're doing, but there's some really attractive non-dilutive capital cost funding. And we're in conversations with people that might want to work on a profit share basis. So we'll be looking at a kind of a capital cost that you could fund from the money in your pocket. So that's the scale of stuff, and that's our approach. Why expose yourself to the sorts of risks that can blow up in your face? We're pursuing this because it provides a risk protection to the ongoing future of Revolver. Let's develop this company via our own means. That's the attraction. That's how we're starting. Within 18 months of listing, we're starting to morph and grow and develop in a way that goes, we're going to deliver our strategy, and we've got some backup, some self-sufficiency that is actually quite credible. And you'll see the results in a couple of weeks. Sit back and grab a cup of coffee and have a read, because we've got a fantastic team together that will be putting out a very comprehensible story that I think will attract people and excite people.
I can sense your excitement, Pat. I haven't seen you this excited for a while, so clearly it's coming down into that. But we're running out of time. Let's wrap it up. Give our audience 3 reasons why they should be sitting up and taking notice right now.
Okay, so the first one is exactly what we talked about there with the production potential at Dianne. We are going to define a material and high margin way that we could access our own self-funding. So that's really exciting. The circumstances are now right upon us for the large-scale tier 1, discovery drilling program at Osprey. Okay, we're ready to go there operationally when the circumstances are right. And last but not least, the cherry on top of all of this, Kerry, is what we've achieved through the VMS. We've drilled right through the heart of a substantial VMS system at Dianne, which is providing that upside development pathway. It's significant. That's compelling. And I promised you that I'd tell you just quickly, I've had a dozen phone calls in the 2 weeks since we put that release out, and they're all from senior industry technical people. And they are going, that is truly remarkable. That you should be feeling very happy with. So again, when you get endorsement from the industry that what you're coming up with in your drill core is that compelling, then you crack on and get going. That's the first regional step out hole that is on the field of targets that were explained in the release. We see nothing but upside and excitement on that. And as soon as we possibly can, we'll do some downhole survey work in the next week or 2, and we look to get going immediately after that. And there'll be discovery holes at Dianne. So discovery at Osprey, discovery at Dianne, and healthy cash flow funding from the Dianne ore body. So it's there's a lot of balls to juggle, and we're going to do them all well.
Well, you can hear the energy and the excitement from Pat there. If you want more information, make sure you go to the Revolver Resources website. Lots of updates, lots of news flow. 2 projects up in Queensland, both looking like there's going to be some really strong news flow from them going forward. And as Pat just said, there's some very I guess, experienced technicians out there that are looking very closely at what Pat and his team are doing. Pat, great to see you. Thanks for joining me back on Small Caps today.
Thanks, Kerry. Talk to you again soon.